Do we have microphones? Do we have microphones? Oh, you got one? Okay, cool. All right. Can we grab this one as well? Can someone pass me this one? You got it? Thanks, Matt. Good.
Guys, what was it like working with Matthew Lillard? He's so fucking handsome, and I've seen him around. He's a piece of ass.
Well played.
I'm gonna go sit down. You need to take this away from me.
Well, it was hard not to want to sleep with him the whole shoot, but... Well, first off, guys, I want to thank you for coming to Spooky Empire. So, give a round of applause for being here today. So Neve, you're originally from Canada, and your name is actually your mother's maiden name, and you actually studied ballet. You did Phantom with Con Wilkinson, and so started off in theatre. And then Skeet was born in Virginia, raised in North Carolina, studied marine biology. He's a smart, handsome man. And he went to NYU and studied Atlantic Theatre Company, correct? And then Matthew, born in Michigan, went to school in California, and then went to school at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and moved to New York City. So everyone has a theatre background. Tell us a little bit about how you got started in your childhood, growing up, theatre and performance.
Just the little things.
The little things, yeah.
Well, I started out as a dancer, actually. I started when I was 6. And then got into National Ballet School when I was 9, and really was training to become a professional dancer. And my first job was Phantom of the Opera, which I got when I was 14. And that was a really amazing experience, and that an agent saw me in that and asked me if I wanted to act, and I sort of slid into acting from dancing because I'd had a lot of injuries and stuff. So, yeah, started in dance and then moved into theater and then moved into film. Keep it short.
Yeah, fantastic. Cool.
I was building sets I was a failing marine biology student, and had the wherewithal to know that's probably what I shouldn't be doing, and started building sets for a theater company, and then it just hit me what I wanted to do, so I moved to New York and studied with David Mamet and Bill Macy, who were teaching at the time, and did a number of plays in New York, and fortunately directors would come to these plays and asked me to do my first film, and then it just sort of went on from there.
Matt?
I love the theater. For me, I was an actor in 8th grade. So when everyone else was good at other things, I only did one thing well. And I kind of, as you're an outcast, because nobody in theater in high school's ever been cool. I found my thing I did very early, and I did it my whole life. And it was the only place that I was good at anything. And when you have a kid that's lost, and you have a kid that's on the outside of anything, and they find what they love, and they have other adults say to them, hey, you're good at that, it's amazing how powerful that is. And I just kept going.
So then you eventually all ended up in LA and made the transition to the Big Smoke, and your careers really started to take off. So why don't you talk about your life right around that period of time, like that transition from theatre into film, and when you started getting those bigger roles?
Yeah, I actually had been working in Canada for 5 years. As I said, I was dancing, and then I started acting in Canada, and I'd done a movie of the week, I think it was for NBC, and really hadn't completely accepted the fact that the dancing was really over and that the acting was going to be it. And a friend of mine, said, come out to LA, and these producers on this movie of the week I'd done said, you should really try and get an agent and a manager, and I'm really, I don't know. So I went out for a few weeks, and I'm just one of these strange stories where I met a woman, Arlene Forrester. It was right after the big earthquake that I went out, and all the agencies and management companies were shut down, and I couldn't get in the door anywhere, and there was this woman named Arlene Forrester who was like, she just decided to become a manager, and she said, well, while you're looking for an agent and manager, why don't I send you out on a few things? And she sent me out on 2 things, one of which was Party of 5. Thank you. So I'm sort of one of those stories that actors hate where it happened really, really quickly. And I was very lucky, right place, right time. And I moved into acting in that way, suddenly packed up my house and moved to the States and I went from there.
Yeah, that's pretty quick. It doesn't usually
Very,
happen like
very
that. What about you, Skeet? When was because you were living in California, right? You were already there.
Well, I wasn't. I was living in New York, but shooting in LA a lot. The first film I made was a really cool experience. We shot in Baltimore, and then not long after that, I did another movie, and then I had known Robin Tunney from New York, from theater circles, and just being around New York, and she called and said, "I'm doing this movie, and I talked to the producers about you, and they want you to come out and read some scenes with me and stuff." And so I had a break from filming. I went out, and that was The Craft, and, which was an amazing experience, so much fun. And then I did the first lead. Then I did Kevin Spacey's movie right after that, his directorial debut, and then I did the first lead in a film I had done for Paul Schrader with Chris Walken and Bridget Fonda. And I was playing the second coming of Christ in modern day LA. Literally wrapped that and flew to San Francisco and drove up to Santa Rosa and started Scream several days later. So I went from this heroic Christ-like figure to the devil within a few days. Yeah. And then I would just, you just keep on keeping on.
I'm still waiting for a big break.
It'll come, brother. It'll come.
I don't know, dude. I'm getting old. Look. What's the question? I auditioned for Skeet's part. I didn't get that shit. And then, the casting director was like, "You should go for the ugly, weird best friend." And I did. And then I got that job. And now I just watched the Scream, and I think that was a horrible decision. I was horrible. Yeah, I've got lots of gums, big teeth, and a really tiny fucking head. I just quit acting on this moment right here. I just quit acting.
Thank you for your service.
I'm done. Thank you guys.
Good. Mic drop. Mic cancel. Mic drop. There he goes.
Oh, you want me to stay? Oh, wait, what?